Hello and welcome to the P2P college football playoffs. We're going to get kicked off with some exciting matchups this year. We're starting with the 1 versus 8 of Utah versus Navy. Navy comes in as a 10-2 squad. They've had a great season, but a lot of pundits have been saying that they have a really light schedule. And maybe there were some other teams that seem to perform well that belong there. But it is nice to see Navy having such a great season. And of course, Utah's back as the number one team in the land, looking to step back in and get that playoff victory as they're 2 seasons removed from their last championship. So it'll be a big test for Navy. We'll see if they can pull it off and pull one out against Utah, and see what happens here in the first matchup of the day of playoff teams. We got Anthony Sears is a little bit banged up. He's probable for the game, but Norman Cardona has demonstrated that he can hold the fort if Sears is out. So exciting matchup. We're just getting everything imported here, and then we'll kind of get kicked off and show all the games. If it will ever get off of this screen. Sweet, there we go. Okay, so we'll go. I really hope it doesn't show me any of these, but I don't think it will. I think it'll just leave it all. Oh, well, other than we get to see who's there. Well, so it didn't hide the scores very well. So I'm going to hope nobody noticed that. Anyway, without further ado, let's kick it off and see how we do in the first game here. I'll have to edit that for later broadcast stuff. But kicking off, looks like Navy starting with the ball. They get a couple quick moves and then a first down on that third and 10 pass, and another first down there on first down. So they're driving a little bit, moving into Utah territory from the 39-yard line. They get another reception, so that's 3 back-to-back receptions for Navy. Now a short green. We're on 3rd and 1. Let's see if they can convert it again, and they didn't. That ball falls incomplete, so they're going to try a field goal, I'd assume. Yeah, and it's no good from the 29. So nice opening drive for Navy, pushing into Utah's territory and then opening it up on defense with a sack against Anthony Sears. That's stellar matchup. Let's see if they can hold against Utah's pretty stellar running game. That's Michael Horn for 6 yards. And let's see what Sears can do. And then Sears hits Christopher Miles with the long bomb, and that looks like it's going to go all the way. 60-something yards for a big touchdown to open the scoring for Utah. After Navy came out, they had those had the drive going pretty well, stalled out, and then they got a sack against Sears on first down, but then Utah did what Utah does and got the score there. So Navy pushing back on the other side, and they're going to get another 3 and out. So Utah's going to get the ball again, and let's see if Sears and company and Navy opens up with another sack against Sears. So that's 2 on the day already in the first quarter, and that's not That's not good for Utah. So that puts them at second and 19. Sears is going to drop back to throw again, looking for Miles, and he hits him for 12 yards. That puts him at third and 7. Let's see if they can convert, and that's the third sack of the day from Navy. So they're just pushing through, and they're really getting a lot of pressure back there on Sears, and Sears isn't getting an opportunity to use his legs, and that's 3 sacks on the day. We're just in the first quarter. If Navy can keep stuff like that up, they might have a chance in this game. And that is incomplete. It's another 3 and out for Navy. So Utah's got the number 1 defense in the country. So I've got to imagine that Navy's got to keep doing what they've been doing on defense against Utah, getting those sacks and getting that push. But they've got to find a way to get some yardage, because if Utah gets too much time on offense, they're gonna do some good work as Sears goes for 14 yards with his legs, and then finds Christopher Miles again with another big pass over the middle, and that one looks like it's going to go to the house too. And so we've got another 69-yard touchdown. Sears to what's become his favorite target, Christopher Miles, for another touchdown to spot Utah up 14-0 against Navy. Navy's really going to have to answer back if they want to have any hope of competing in this game. I'd imagine that, you don't want to get too far behind too early, and they've let up 2 really big plays from the Utah offense. They've been able to move the ball pretty well, but their drives keep stalling out as another pass goes incomplete on another third down to give them another 3 and out. So Navy's defense is just going to be getting more and more tired, and now Utah starts at their own 47. They're going for that blitz again, and they left a guy wide open, Jared Alley, but Sears missed him with that corner blitz. But he was able to avoid the pressure this time. We had a blocker get up and take care of it as Utah completes another pass. And we're looking at Felix Baxter, gets it to him out in the flat, and he gets a nice big gain of 20-plus yards to get down to the 25-yard line of Navy. And now Utah's pushing, jabbing a little bit with their run game as they get 6 yards. And here's Baxter again, and that looks like it's going to be another touchdown for Utah, as Utah now goes up 21-0 on 3 really great offensive drives. Even though Navy's managed to get some push and get some pressure on Sears, they finally picked up that blitz, and Sears hit Baxter for a big 25-yard game, and then backed it up with another 25-yard touchdown to complete the drive and get his 3rd touchdown on the game as the first quarter winds down. And Navy looking to kind of move the ball again as they get a first down, so they've ended their string of 3 and outs. We'll see if they can get something going here. They really do need to get some points on the board, as Utah already just looks to be running away with this one. Navy not doing very well on the defensive side of the ball. Even though they've managed to get some sacks, 3 sacks in the first quarter, I mean, that's a pretty good pace, good pressure on Sears, but he does some great work with his feet. As Utah gets the ball back from their own 41-yard line, let's see if they just tack another score on here, as Sears has all day to throw there and hits Miles again for the fourth catch, I think, on the day. For Christopher Miles, he's having quite the game. Along with Sears, and here we go again, and is that Boyd Villegas? So he's the freshman phenom that Utah's been really excited about. He's been playing in the receiving game, and that's the 4th touchdown now from Sears on long passes. So that's pretty awesome, and Sears seems to today demonstrating that he is healthy, and he really wants that Heisman Trophy. I know he's been kind of up and down the ranks throughout this season, but he really wants that Heisman, and it's showing here today with 4 touchdowns, and we're only 12 minutes left in the second quarter. So we've only gone through a quarter and a couple minutes, and Sears already has 4 touchdowns. And it's got to make you think that, maybe a rematch with um, Oregon or West Virginia might have been a good choice to get into these playoffs, but each team did have 4 losses. West Virginia had a hard early season, same with Oregon, but Oregon played Utah tough. And there comes that corner blitz again, and he's going to find Sears on his blind side. And that's the 4th sack on the day for Navy, which is great, but they need to stop some of these long passes from Sears and company as they don't here. And there's Felix Baxter. Or no, that's not Baxter. That's the tight end John Joseph for Sears' 5th touchdown pass of the day. And that's going to put Utah up 35-0. And we've pretty much just turned this into a showcase already of Navy doesn't look like they really belong in this game at all. They've managed to do some good things, 4 sacks on the day already, but they really seem to be having a hard time stopping Utah or getting anything going on offense. And so we'll just keep plugging away as Navy gets another 3 and out, and Utah's now going to start kind of at their worst field position in a couple drives from their own 21-yard line. And let's see if they start running the ball a little bit with this big lead. That's Michael Horn on 1st down and not able to get the first, but we're on 3rd and 2. See if they throw with Sears again on that short down, and they do, and that's going to be George Martin that Utah's really excited about coming up. He's a sophomore this year, but he's going to be getting a lot more playing time next year as Michael Horn is gone. And here we go, Matthew Horn driving the ball again, getting a big gain and a nice block there from Joseph to get him a little extra, and that's going to put Utah at the 20 after a big run there, and there is yet another sack for this Navy defense. They've done a really good job getting that push on the line and getting pressure, but Sears is just too good and makes him pay every single time. And Baxter was wide open there on 2nd down, and Sears misses him, and he'll get another incompletion. Haven't seen too many. That's the first 2 incompletions for Sears, as he's already 12 of 14 for 328 yards and 5 touchdowns in this game against Navy. As Utah gets a field goal, goes up 38-0, and this is just looking like a bloodbath for Navy ultimately. As they finally do complete a long pass to Romero there, get into Utah territory. That's the 2nd time on the day they've managed to get into Utah territory. They missed a field goal on the opening drive, but let's see if they can get something a little bit more, maybe get some points on the board. And show a little bit of life here, but I got to imagine Utah's defense will start stiffening up as they do there, and Navy is forced to punt again, and they will pin Utah down at the 2-yard line, so they can get another one of those sacks. That would be good stuff. So Sears goes with the rush, gets 2 yards, he fumbles, but he picks up his own ball. So that's going to put 2nd and 8 from the 4-yard line for Utah. Let's see if they can get some pressure and maybe a sack on Sears here as that 2nd down pass goes incomplete, and then we're going to run up the middle with Jason White. It looks like Utah's just going to play a field position game here. As they've got a huge lead, they don't really need to take too many risks. So Navy gets the ball. They're going to start at the 50. Incomplete pass broken up by Sherman. And then we are looking at a pass complete. So 3rd and 4 for Navy. And they've managed to hold against this Utah defense that tends to get, they lead the league typically in sacks. So it seems like Navy's game plan was to try and reverse Utah's, high blitzing, lots of pressure on the QB, tried to turn it on their head. And it's not worked out too well, as even though Sears has been sacked 5 times, he's really made Navy pay. As we step into 2nd and short here, and there's another pass, but that's going to be Cardona. So it looks like they might have sent Sears to the locker room at halftime, and they're just going to finish it up with Cardona here. Who's another player that Utah's really excited about. Sears has been the main guy, but we got to think that Cardona is going to get at least one season to do things and run this offense. As Navy gets yet another sack. I think that's their sixth on the day, so they've done a good job, but they're still allowing a lot of big yards. As we move through the third quarter, 11 minutes and 30 seconds left. Navy with the ball again. Drop back, another long pass, and we're just looking like we're gonna be stabbing with some long passes all day here. As Navy tries to run and gets stuffed on first down. They're able to get a little bit, 4 yards on second down on the ground, and 3rd and 5. Let's see if they can convert. And they come up. It looks like, yeah, it's going to be 4th and inches, and they're going to go for it, the short game, but they didn't quite get it. So it's going to come up a little short, and Utah's going to take over at their own 41. And here goes George Martin getting a few yards on first down. And then that's going to be, who caught that ball? I was going to say Joseph, but I think Utah's gone with their backups now, so it's harder to tell. So, yeah, we got Ricky Thompson. I think he's a redshirt freshman all the way down the depth chart on running back for Utah. He's getting some time. George Martin again. And it looks like Utah's just going to play a steady push the ball, run it a little bit. They've already got 370 yards passing. So not incredibly necessary. Sears had a great day, and that's going to be Jason White pushing down to the 1. He does get stopped before the end zone, and it looks like Utah's going to go up 45-0. And they do 45-0 for Utah in this third quarter, and it really hasn't been, the only thing that Navy's managed to do all day is get pressure on the quarterback, get pressure on Sears, control his legs a little bit, but he's made him pay with his arm, and that's kind of the definition of a dual threat, and that's what Sears is billed as. So you take away his legs, and he's beating you with his arms. So let's see if Navy can finally put something together, as Utah's pretty much got their backups in playing the game. That's Maurice McKnight getting a stop there. Here we go on 2nd and 12, and they do complete a pass to get to 3rd and short. Let's see if they can convert, because they haven't gotten many third down conversions here, and they don't get that one either. Let's see if they try a field goal. It's good from the 32, a 49-yarder, and Navy finally gets on the board with 1:40 left in the third quarter. Put Utah back on the field again. Let's see what kind of things Cardona can do as Navy gets called for offsides. George Martin goes up the middle for not much. And then he's able to, Jason White, get 5 yards and another Utah first down. And this third quarter's winding down, and Utah, with Jason White, just seems to be running it down their throats. And there's Ronald Page, the fullback, backup fullback, getting a few yards as well. And here's Cardona. Let's see if he can get that third down conversion, and he does. He hits Boyd Villegas, who everyone thinks is going to be a real exciting player for Utah next year. He came in as a true freshman and immediately passed up several receivers to win some playing time. He's not the number 1 or the number 2 receiver, but he gets consistent play at number 3, and he's their kick and punt returner. And I got to imagine he's going to be an exciting player for Utah in the coming years, as Utah looks to finish another drive, and they will. Touchdown up the middle. Matthew Horn gets some more points on the board to put it up to 52-3 for Utah. So not much left to be said. I don't expect that Navy's going to come back in this game in the slightest sense. Especially considering Anthony Sears is 12 of 16. Cardona now has been playing and is 4 for 4 on his throws. And then that's a big sack by Joseph Smith. Fumble recovered by Smith, and that's going to be returned 12 yards for first down. So that's the first sack on the day for Utah. And they managed to turn it into a fumble, and now they've got field position again, and Cardona's going to look over the top and get a 25-yard touchdown. So Navy just is not doing anything to stop Utah's passing game. They're getting them over the top and all over the place. Cardona's 5 for 5. Sears was 12 of 16 before leaving the game for the day, calling it a good one. And I got to think that this is pretty wrapped up. The question of whether Navy belongs among the elite and, kind of their lighter schedule that they had to play in the AAC and not even play in a conference championship game, they managed to sneak into the playoffs, and it really doesn't look like they belong here. Navy's a good team and a good up-and-coming squad, but I've got to think that there were a few other teams that might have done a better job against the number one team in the land, Utah. So as we're moving on again, another sack by Utah. They're starting to pick them up as Navy's going to have to punt again, and with 7:18 left in the fourth. Cardona and the Utes taking over on first down again. George Martin going to get about a yard, and then we're going to have a false start. So are they going to get that safety? Wow, they brought the blitz there, Navy did, but it got picked up, and Cardona was able to get the ball out before getting sacked for a safety. So Navy holds them. That's a short punt for Antonio and Utah. So Navy gets good field position to start here, but you got to think they're just playing for, you got to try and have some fun and play for next year and try some different guys out, maybe try some different stuff, see if you can get anything going. Because you got to think Navy's going to be a good team next year, and they might even be undefeated, and they might be back here again. But they're going to have to figure out some stuff to really make some noise as they do finally get some points, a touchdown on the board, and get up. Utah's now 59-10, but it wasn't. It's going to be too little, too late as we wind down with 3 minutes left in the fourth. And this is pretty much going to do it, I'd imagine. Utah gonna try and run the ball, get a couple first downs, and just wind down that clock. As there goes, I didn't quite catch who ran that ball, but George Martin again, 5 yards as Utah's just running it down the throat, and they've now gone for another touchdown, and that's going to be Jason White for 11 yards in the score. So Utah now just finishing up the game. They've only thrown 17 passes in this one for 434 yards, but their running game's staying pretty healthy too, as they're, I think, well over 600 yards passing as Utah gets the third sack on the day. That's going to be Treadway, the backup defensive end. And I think that's got to be, pretty much the conclusion. I can't imagine Navy's going to be able to get much going here. They're not bothering with their timeouts. And let's see if they can get a few more plays and a few more yards or try some different stuff. But that concludes it. 15-yard pass. Utah wins it 66-10 against Navy. Not much to be said. Big game for Sears. Stovall for Navy played pretty well, 17-34 for a touchdown, but they just couldn't get enough going. You allow 631 yards against Utah, almost 200 yards on the ground, over 400 through the air, and it's going to be a long day. So that's a decent game, not very exciting. Hopefully we have some other closer, more exciting games on the docket, but that'll conclude this one. I'll be taking a short break for about 5 minutes, and then we'll jump into FSU versus Houston and check out how the number 2 versus the number 7 seed goes in this one, and maybe we can see some upsets. But really excited about the main event today is going to be the number 4 versus the number 5. That's Virginia versus Baylor, so stay tuned for that, and we'll get that one going. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you in about 5 minutes when I get